licensee, we push and we give complete source code access to everything. And when we license technology, as we'll talk about some of the things that we've licensed in the past, we always make sure that we get access to the source code. So if any of these questions, for some reason we've addressed them and felt we were comfortable going forward, and the worst happens, we have the source code, we can fix the bugs, we can go in and we can make it happen. So there will never be a ship blocking bug based on a dependency that we can't deal with. And we want to provide to our licensees the same. So even if you're not licensing Unreal Engine, you're licensing any technology, make sure you address these risks. Make sure you ask these questions. Make sure they're resolved to your satisfaction. And the only way you really can resolve it to your satisfaction is by having that source code in your hand. I said, need tech. Well, you can always often license tech for less than it's going to cost you to build. When you consider the cost of Unreal Engine, what we've spent on Unreal Engine in terms of man-years and millions of dollars, what it would take for a developer or a team of developers to develop something starting today that would compete with Unreal Engine, with the robust tool set we have, it's a pretty large task. Not that it's impossible, but you would literally be behind the curve with a team of 20 guys by 2 years before your art teams are being productive. The amount of money that we charge to license technology, to license Unreal Engine, is minimum, very de minimis in comparison. So that's one of the equations that you have to run. Generally, you'll find that is the same with other middleware as well. It doesn't just apply to Unreal Engine. There's lots of other very useful middleware products that if you were to try and develop it on your own, you'll end up spending 2, 3, 4 times the money to develop it and be behind the curve from a time to market time perspective. Also, another key factor is if you license the middleware in substantial volumes, if you're a larger organization, you're developing across 5, 6, 7, 8 products, whatever the number is, and the company offers a company-wide license where you basically pay one number down, one fee down, and then just pay a royalty across, like we do. How about that? You can amortize that cost across multiple products and achieve massive savings and share assets across product. Because as one product develops a brick or fire or brass or something that's just not unique to that particular product, it just gets reused, goes into a library and gets reused. And as you continue to do that you really start to achieve some savings as you build up giant libraries of materials. And we've seen multiple instances of companies who've been very successful doing that. Content is the most expensive part of the next generation development process. What we've found is that the technology, while it is very expensive, we're basically making movies or games, the assets. We're going through the same process that Hollywood goes through to make movies in this current Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 generation. It is absolutely the most expensive part of development. So you want to make sure that you're going back to the discussion about having your guys being productive. You want to have your art teams productive day one. Licensed technology, yeah, well, I just said that, didn't I? How about that? Less engine technical revision means less content revision. Again, back to the point where if you're building your own technology, you're revising your engines over and over again in that iterative process. It's highly likely that you're causing your development teams, content teams, to either revise or completely scrap content. And I can tell you through the course of development on all the projects that I've been involved in, dating back to Commander Keen, all the way through Gears, well, the first iteration of Unreal Engine, Gears 2 was based on a stable tech, but dating back to like the early Unreal stuff, we went through that process at Epic. So basically, we've taken the burden, we've fixed it, we've given, and we can provide a stable platform. And as you're looking at licensed technology, you want to make sure that wherever you're licensing from, be it from us or be it from anybody else, they can provide you that same kind of stability. A very important point, middleware libraries and game engines, they can help extract away a lot of the platform details. Well, it's not just a magic button where you can develop content once, ooh, hit the button, wham, we got a PlayStation 3 game. How about that? There's a lot of work that needs to be done, but it does make it a lot easier. Because if you've been developing your content with the budgets and the assets in mind to fit on the PlayStation 3 or the Xbox 360, whatever your target platform is, the way Unreal Engine works is if it does see a dev kit, a PlayStation 3 or an Xbox 360 dev kit, right within the tool, you literally can hit the button, play from here, and pick up the controller. It does all the mojo under the hood, and that's way over my head. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but it does all that mojo, and next thing you pick it up and you're playing on the PlayStation 3. So what we've done is our guys and our engineers and our teams have figured out exactly what needs to happen, how to organize the content, how to organize the codes, the different threads, sending it down to the hardware so that you don't have to. And that's a lot of hard work, especially on the PlayStation 3. It's a great machine, but let's face it, it's hard work to get it going. And we can take that burden from you. And if you're licensing code and you're making a cross-platform game, you want to make sure that whoever you're licensing from is abstracting away those details for you. It's a very, very key point. I said, there we go. You're replacing an in-house technology. Just cost savings is not the only reason to license. A lot of times you'll find that middleware it's battle tested. Something like Unreal Engine 3, something like Havoc, Scaleform, Bink, and the list goes on and on. These guys we license in volume. There are hundreds of people out there, in some cases thousands of people out there using these products. And you know that if you're licensing it now, you're getting the benefit of everything that's happened before from a support standpoint. So you've got a product that you can reasonably or reliably feel is battle tested in the marketplace. And because of that, it's more stable and it's better optimized. We've been through all these passes with various licensees. We and other people in the middleware licensing business, we've been through this process. We know what's happening. We've made all these optimizations. It's not to say optimizations and stability passes are not ongoing effort. They are. But if you're licensing something 3-4 years into the life cycle, you can have some pretty good confidence. Because we have to license across many products, we have to make sure that our product is usable and has more emphasis on tools and user interface. Generally, if a product is built in-house for a single-purpose game, the tools and the user interface are single-minded. They're just built for, basically the guy who built it. And it's shoved down to the content development team and they say, use it, and that's the way it is. People who license middleware have to make sure that their tools are robust and wide open to a very wide range of audience. Generally, it's better documented and better supported. What we found from in-house development teams that we've talked to is that the tools that they're developing, sometimes the the documentation is somewhat limited, and support examples are somewhat limited. And what we have to do in the development and providing our stuff to a wide audience is develop a robust set of examples, a robust set of documentation. Every little tidbit in the engine is completely documented, and we constantly update that in our online tube of information, Unreal Developers Network. In fact, we even provide the source code to our games already shipped. You don't get to see the stuff that we're working on. But we even provide the source code to our games as a baseline example so that you can see it, how we did something. So if there's a question, gee, how did they do that groovy frog effect in Gears 2? You go look. It's generally more feature-rich and more modern. So middleware just beyond engines. It's not just a big engine thing, that's just part of the game. Even if you are or have your own engine technology in-house, it's highly likely that you're looking to license some form of, you'll license some middleware component for it. Physics is a great example. There's not a lot of teams out there that have the wherewithal to create or develop a good physics solver. That is dangerous math. You really need to know what you're doing. And really, why should you? Honestly, there are several great examples of physics technology and physics solvers out there that you can license at a fraction of the cost. Friends who have it, they're here right now. NVIDIA has a physics library. We use the physics stuff, but both are very highly competent. And I guarantee you, lot cheaper than what it would cost for you to attempt to develop your own business.